Hi. You have this right in the time.
Are you really gonna hold it the whole time?
5 to 7.
No.
This is up on the website as well.
Put it on the stand. I don't want to fall off. No, I mean like just hold it on the stand. Put it on the stand.
Okay, so tell me what we had on our family tree so far.
Heathcliff.
We have Heathcliff. Alright.
Good boy.
That's right.
Heathcliff, that's the gypsy, right?
Yes, Heathcliff is the gypsy guy.
That dad picked up.
Right. Right. So do you want to work on Heathcliff's background or his children?
Children.
Children. Okay. So he has. Or hold on.
I'm pretty sure it's not gonna fall.
He has children. Tell me about them.
There's one
His
son
son's
there.
And
dead,
his son who's dead.
and he married
Mrs.
Mrs.
Heathcliff. Yeah.
And the son is married to Mrs. Heathcliff. Sorry, my brain is working.
His family's almost confusing as mine.
Not as much as mine.
Alright, do we know Mrs. Heathcliff's name at this point?
Kathy.
This Catherine is called Kathy. Generally. And so she is Catherine Heathcliff. Yes? Okay. Do they have any children?
No.
No. Okay. So now let's work up and over. Well, we also have, who's the other guy at the house? Yeah, what's his first name?
Church.
His name is Meriton. And do we know anything about his parents, spouse, children?
Yes.
He had parents.
I think it's good.
Mom and dad are both dead. We don't know any of their names yet, correct?
Do we?
I don't think so. Okay. So now, what do we know about Heathcliff's childhood? We've learned just a little bit about it.
Not blood related to his parents.
Okay, he's not blood related to his parents.
Right.
However, who, for the sake of argument, raises him? Who is his father figure?
Joseph.
No, Jacob's the servant.
Lachlan.
No. Earnshaw.
Yeah. Francis Earnshaw.
No.
Some other Earnshaw.
Not Francis Earnshaw. But Mr. Earnshaw. He doesn't technically have a name, but he's Mr. Earnshaw. And we can assume that Mr. Earnshaw is married to Mrs. Earnshaw.
Are you sure it's not Mr. Earnshaw?
I'm sure because she's told Mrs. Earnshaw. Let me angle this line. Now, do Mr. and Mrs. Earnshaw have any other children other than Heathcliff that they find on the side of the road?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what other children do they have?
Harrison?
No, they
No.
have all these people have the same name. They have a girl and a boy.
There's a girl and a boy. What are their names? So 1, 2.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why did Emily Bronte insist on making this as confusing as possible?
To torture you? To create a very insulated society without a lot of outside influences.
Is it one Catherine?
Yes. son is named
Francis.
no
Hindley?
Hindley. Is it EY?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Mr. and Mrs. Earnshaw. They have two biological children, Catherine Earnshaw and Hindley Earnshaw. Then one day, Dad shows up with a gypsy child that he found on the streets of Liverpool and decided to bring home to his family. Said gypsy child is named Heathcliff. He only has one name, he doesn't have a first name. Heathcliff is both his first name and last name. Okay. Heathcliff marries wife who you don't know yet. She's dead. They have a kid, son, who's dead, who you don't know yet. Kid who's dead, married, who we know as Mrs. Catherine Heathcliff. Yes?
Sure.
Not very good.
And we don't know yet what becomes of Catherine Earnshaw and Hindley, although you're going to learn a whole lot more about them. Okay. And then we have Hareton, who has a dad and mom, but you don't know who they are yet.
Is Henley gonna be related to Hareton?
Yes.
Like a grandfather or something? So he should be above him?
He will be above him.
Okay.
Yes. Alright. Are we good? Is anyone confused? Okay.
Heathcliff is kind of mean though.
They were mean too.
Wait.
Handling was mean.
He tried to he said, trade me this horse or I'll tell him.
Yeah, they weren't very nice. Well, let's talk about a little bit about Heathcliff. Tell me about him, what you know about him, what you wrote, how you would characterize him, a little bit about his background. Let me see, can I slide this up? Okay. We can see how many different. Oh wow, all of this is still up here from yesterday. Did anybody knock out all the notes from yesterday? Is there some on the back?
We're about
Or can we just flip this over? Or would that involve?
You just extend it out from the wall. That's all.
This is fun. Let's go to the next
Do you have to mention the L word this
Nope.
one?
That's okay, we can erase all
upside down.
this.
It's upside down.
I'm aware of that. I'm going to erase it all anyway. Okay. Alright, so tell me about Heathcliff. What do we know about him, about his background, what kind of person he is?
He's grumpy.
Gypsy.
He's a grumpy gypsy. Grumpy. Now, before we move on from grumpy gypsy, what makes up a gypsy? What is a gypsy?
It's a, like, Roma person or something like that.
Okay, and what does that mean? What's a Roma person?
Identify.
They now don't like to be called gypsies. That's a term that they find offensive. They like to be called the Roma. Somebody want to look up in the dictionary? What happened in the dictionary?
Nothing on there.
Gypsy is one of the robotic characters in the television series Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I caught it.
No. Try again.
A laborer who moves from place to place as demanded by employment. I still think the first one's right.
There's Romany in here.
What's that?
A gypsy, or the Indic language of the gypsies.
Okay, so they have their own language. Alright, we'll go. While they're looking, does somebody want to take a guess where the Roma originated from?
Rome.
Gypsy.
Close.